Black girls who went to white schools need therapy.
Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. So guys, I bring you this interesting video that I came across on TikTok. Guys, I bring you this black South African sister who's got this interesting video with an interesting topic. Guys, every black girl who's been to a white dominated school needs therapy. I'm agreeing with her on that, guys, because I had my own experience, guys. Anyway, let's get into the video. Leave your own thoughts after watching this entire video in the comment section below, and then we will talk.
Black girls who went to white schools need therapy. So my first story is about this black water polo girl, and when she was in the water, you could see most of the awards went to her mediocre white counterparts. And it's not me hating on white people, it's just even white kids would point that out to me. Now I don't know who's good and who's not good in water polo because it was a new sport to me. But they'd say no, that girl didn't get an award because she was black. And for a white racist girl to admit that to me, there was this white girl who did traditional dance in grade 8 and she got half colors same year. Then there was this captain, the captain of traditional dance, only got her half colors in grade 12 and she was black. And when we saw that, we were like,
okay guys, so for the sake of the rest of the world, you know, not everyone can speak a language. I'm trying my best to cut the part where she's using her own language because even I myself cannot understand that part. But yeah, so feel free to check her out. That is her name below there. Yeah, you can check her out on TikTok, and then you can watch this entire video if you're interested in finding out what she was saying in the parts that I'm cutting. Yeah, so let's just watch the rest of this video.
By the way, traditional dance is that one that goes oh, sorry, I don't know how to do the traditional dance even though I am a black South African. The criteria for getting an award was so skewed towards the white sports. Like, it would say you'd have to play this many matches, you'd have to get these awards, But the only sports where it was possible to play that many matches in one season were the white sports. So like swimming, water polo, you see. And then for the black sports that have less games and they're more training intensive, it was more difficult for black girls to get awards. So for instance, like I think they also played on the fact that, you know, I don't blame black parents because the fear of water is a very generational thing. It's built off of generational trauma within the black people, and it's historically and scientifically proven. Like for West Africans, the fear of water comes from the transatlantic slave trade for West Africans and African Americans, and then for Southern Africans, the fear of water comes from the fact that we used to know how to swim. Like Xhosa people live by the water, but then when colonialism took our parents away from us, or like took their parents away from them, what happened was no one was teaching kids how to swim, and now kids were like drowning and things like that. So out of generational trauma, our parents are just like, no, why are you going on a diving board? Why are you doing water polo? Anyway, but I stopped my digression. Like even the understanding that is shown towards white girls when they're sick versus black girls. Like, you know how black girls are viewed to have a stronger pain tolerance. So it's like, oh, if a black girl is sick, they're just being a hypochondriac or they're lying because that's what white South Africans instantly think, and other things. So after being a first aider at my school, you know, when white girls get hurt, they're just like, oh my god, it's fine, I'll just call my dad, I'm going home. But when black girls get hurt, it's like, oh my god, I need my half colors, so I'm gonna power through this injury. It could be the worst injury.
Okay guys, so when she posted this video, guys, a lot of girls came out in numbers. I have just collected for you guys a few stitches, so let's just watch their experiences. But I'm also interested in hearing your own experience. I'm sure everyone is interested in hearing what you went through at a school dominated by white people. So yeah, let's get into the stitches. I'm gonna share a little bit about my own story at the end of the video, just a teeny part of my own story. So yeah, let's get into the videos.
So my first story is about this black.
I literally relate to this on the highest level of life, but I'm not gonna make this TikTok too long. But on the note of being in Bogota by force, chief, bro. Literally, she made a comment of the fact that, like, even when you're sick, there's like less empathy for you or like sympathy, whatever. But the white girls, it's like, oh, don't worry, go to the sick room. Us, we are to justify why. Where to justify why? And you could even see that teacher had doubt. She had doubt when you say, yo, I'm sick. You know what I mean? Like, so much happened to us. Like, when things are stolen, Aibo, they're looking at us. Aibo. When it's Ria's week, we in front. They're like, why the black girls in front? Aibo. My friend Avila got a white blazer. Way after a lot of the white girls, and she did 10 times more and better.
So my first story is about this Blackwater port.
Listen, it's as if this TikTok was made for me to stitch, okay? Listen, I went to school in Cape Town called, rhymes with the Schminter National School of Schmeeptown. And anyone who went to school with me knew that, because I was there since like grade 2 all the way into grade 12. So it was like, I was there the whole time. But everyone who went to school with me knew that I always won 100 meters out. Like, track and field was my thing, so I'd always be in the 4x100 relays, always be the last person to run because I would win. I'm not just bragging, like, this is for the context of the thing. But when it was time to give out awards, I only won one award, whilst in fact 1 or 2 awards in fact near the end of my high school years, whilst winning each and every single year in 100 meters and 4x100 relay. And other, my peers and stuff would always be like, yo, what the heck, what's happening? Why are you never getting these awards? I'm not the only person who's experienced this as well. But it would always be this 1 or 2 white chicks. I remember specifically one who would, she would cry if she didn't win an award, and she would get one. And they would just say, oh, it's because she accumulated so many points from doing this and this race and stuff. But she wouldn't actually win. Or I only got like colors like literally grade 11 or grade 12. When we do like sports day and stuff. And I only got that for athletics like once. Or even basketball. Or the way they would never cater towards other students, talents, whether it's creatively and this and that, just because the majority of the students, white students, they would usually want to cater to them like academically and this and that and all these, like the girl was saying, white sports and, things that they know that, or I mean, just in general, the microaggressions and things, the microaggressions that I experienced in school, bro, like, there'll only be times that would take me seriously when my mom, being a black woman, would actually come in and talk about all these, injustices and microaggressions when it, came to being in this PWI of a school, pretty much, because they wouldn't expect her to come in and stand ground and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah. Oh, and then when I started doing well with my music, because I'm a musician, so when I started gaining numbers doing shows, this and that, then my school wanted to hand out awards as if they're the ones who made me the artist that I am. So it was a very strange time, and they do this a lot with the other black students and other students of color. So
Black girls who went to white schools need therapy.
The amount of stories I can tell. I'm a black girl who's always went to fucking white schools. And not only white schools, but white Boere Afrikaans medium schools. Now the first story, I had just moved to George. I was grade 4 and I got introduced to my new classroom. The teacher showed me where my new desk would be, and I obviously had a desk mate already sitting there. Now as I put my bag down and I sit in the desk, this guy scoots over to the edge of his fucking desk just so he couldn't be close to me. And you guessed it, he's a white boy. Story number 2. I love braids. And I love my natural hair as well. But I love braids. And I think this was in grade 5 or 6. But I was in class and this boy sitting behind me was touching my hair. I look back at him and I'm like, okay. He then taps me on the shoulder and is like, is hierdie kafferhare? The shock on my fucking face. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Ciao. Story number 3. This was, I think, also grade 5 or 6. But you know how you're supposed to sit in primary school on the floor and only the grade 7s are allowed to sit on chairs and shit like that? So I was sitting on the floor and then the boys were sitting at the back of the girls. And this white boy who was in my class literally took a whiff of my braids. And the boy next to him was like, Reikt het sleg. I'm like, the fuck? Story number 4. This was grade 6. We had a revue or concert or whatever you want to fucking call it. And I was chosen to be one of the lead singers. I only got one solo, while the other 3 girls who were white got multiple solos and trios together. I was like, okay. Story number 5. I think this was like grade 8 or 9, but there was load shedding in class, and the class got a little dark. And one of the white boys literally said out loud, "Waar is Zinkle?" Bitch, what? Yeah, they say my name. Zinkle. Waar is Zinkle? Story number 6. Never fucking being able to pronounce my name. My name is Zintle, but all the white people call me Zinkle. Zinkle. Babe, it's Zintle. But yeah, that's it.
Therapy. Someone that also went to a predominantly white school, I noticed some few things. If you watch her video, she was talking about how it was harder for black students to get awards when it came to like sports and stuff like that. How the school would prioritize in like conventionally white sports, water polo, swimming, stuff like that. I just want to add on my 2 cents of where I went to, where it would always seem like arty type of program, such as like dance or drama, things like that. Would always make like the rehearsals and stuff like that very difficult for black students to partake in because of how late they would do them. Understanding that like the majority of the black students would live maybe like 1 hour, 2 hours away from the school, would also live in dangerous areas where you can't just come home at 10 o'clock after like a rehearsal. And I think it was only later on when the school provided transport. I'm still not even sure that happened because most black students didn't have transport back home. We weren't getting dropped off and picked up by our parents. Most of us had like transports, you know what I'm saying?
My own experience. Okay, so all I can remember is that I was maybe first grade in a queue, you know, these private schools, and you know, serving free food. About to get I actually got the milk. This white girl goes like, "You're drinking white milk. Is there black milk?" So guys, yeah, that is my own story, brief story. Go ahead, leave your own thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe if you have not subscribed to this channel, and I will definitely see you in my next video. Bye.